I did a little organizing today, and I wasn't planning on going on, but Mason came by, so he actually dropped back off the 268 and the 272 because he tried them both. So let's have a look at both of them. And I'm going to bring it up here on the other phone. And I'm not intending to go on for that long tonight. Just wanted to kind of give you the results of what happened here. So, truth be told, I don't know. I'm going to pull the mufflers and we'll actually see what actually is going on with these guys. So, let me bring up this up here and here for a few. Good. So first up here is the Ratty Tatty 268, and hey Sean, morning. In my case, evening. Hey Larry. All three of you missed earlier, but that's okay. So this is the Ratty Tatty 268. Runs fine. Mason seemed to think this was a pretty nice firewood saw for somebody, you know. It's not amazing, but pulled a 24-inch bar for me just fine. So what I want to do is I want to pull the muffler after a little bit of running here, and we'll get a compression. Hey William. Yeah, about 6:45 here. We'll get pull the. Let's see here. Pull the top, pull the muff. Get a compression number. Hey Marshall. If anybody is interested in this, this has a new ring, new seals, new. Actually, this piece is new here. This rubber piece. Kitted carb, new fuel line filter. Overall, this saw is, I would say, pretty much ready to rock. Just want to make sure that this is as good as it could be. Let's get a compression number. It's had some running, but not much. Mason really just doesn't stop cutting, so he barely stops to show up and hang out for 2 minutes with me. So we're at 0 there. Let's see where we end up. Oh man. 160, 165. It's $250 plus shipping. I figure $300 shipped. It's an open port, got a new ring on an OEM piston. Proof is in the pudding there. Like 165 compression's pretty darn good. Yeah, James, yours has 375 tanks on it, so. This is not ported. Do I have the Schrader valve in the tip? Yes, I do. Pretty sure it looks like a Schrader valve to me. They both oil well. Picked up two 395s and four 3. Oh, holy cow, Matt. You're gonna be busy rebuilding those, huh? What do you think? Should I pull the muffler here? Just to make darn sure it's good? Yeah, sorry, William. Compression testers, I know, are funny things. This one's been good for me, but I know lots of people have issues. Hey, Patrick. Well, the HD filters are you can get them at HL Supply. They've basically knocked them off the original HD filters for 272. That's pretty cool, Patrick. How come that won't go in there? Haha. That's why. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, if anybody wants to support the channel, the best way is either buy tools or click on the link and use the link to buy stuff from HL Supply. If you buy stuff from HL Supply, then I get credit for it through that link. The elbow is what's hard to find. Yeah, I think HL Supply is working on that, actually. Yep, and the machine marks are still there. About 160, 165. No scoring. All nice and oily. Yeah, this is an OEM head. OEM open port head. So, that one's good. Is it a mile head? Hang on. It might. I don't know. Hang on a second. You absolutely have to have the brand. I can't see the stamp. It's stamped A on the top, but it's got the part number 5036111, but I don't see the stamp. Sorry. I'm just going to put this back on here. No goop, nothing. Just going to put it back on. So yeah, anybody wants this saw, it's complete. Yeah, I know. I've looked right above the flywheel. I'll show you in a second. The part number's there, but I don't see the stamp for the whether it's KS or MAL or whatever. I think the flywheel's either covering it or it's just there's some corrosion on the cylinder, so I can't really see well. OEM muffler hasn't even been opened up or nothing, just 52 ZN22 is MAL. I don't think so. Let me give me a minute. Hang on. I don't think it's got that type of number. This buttoned. That's tight. That's tight. Okay, that's all buttoned up. The only thing above the flywheel is the part number. I don't see anything stamped on the base above the flywheel. So it might not be MAL. Might be a KS head or Giuliodoni, but I don't know. It's either KS, Giuliodoni, or MAL, one of the others. But wrong one. Because it's the wrong size. Head bolts are tight. Got the kit rebuilt from HL Supply. Came with different type of muffler. Exit spot was in a different spot. You mean the one out the side? The little, there's a little pipe out the side. Not gonna hurt anything. No. But if there's no what's it called? There's no spark screen in there, so you can't run it in the woods with because you can start fires. So just so you know, as a play saw, no problem. But as something that's you're going to be running professionally in the woods, you got to get a different muffler. So, it's complete, ready to go. Just ready to cut some firewood for somebody. I'll ship it $300. Lower 48. It's an open port 268. It is an OEM head, and it's an OEM open port head, OEM piston, new caber ring. I've been through the clutch cover, so that's all fresh. It's not perfect looking, but it's all pretty complete here, so be good for somebody. Okay. Yeah, so 272 is closed port, 52 millimeter. It's a different ball game. Now for the pièce de résistance. Just so you know, this one has already dibs called on it. This is for Jonathan. Based on how many parts are in here and what they're worth, $700 shipped is what this is going for. That's okay, Patrick. Don't worry about it. So let's take this apart and see what this looks like. I just want to make sure that the piston is good. Now we've got good compression. If we do, after this has been run a little bit, then I can ship this down to Jonathan. Hey, Pat. So brand new cover here. Everything works. Everything's fine. Let's double check tightness. The head bolts. You can. So head bolts are good. Let's do a compression check. Not white, nice chocolate brown color. I think he only put half a tank through this, so it wasn't lots of running here, but assuming you have good compression and the piston looks good, this will get shipped. It's beautiful. I mean, barely any dust inside here. So again, we're at 0. With the decomp in, it's 120. Oh god. There's 150. There's 150. I bet you'll get more out of that as it breaks in. Because I don't think it's broken in yet. And Mason didn't think it was broken in yet either. Take care, Sean. Thanks for coming in. So this is an actual OEM 272 52 millimeter closed port. Well, I clean all the parts before I put them together. Most of the time, that 268 I didn't, but if I'm tearing everything down, everything goes like in the ultrasonic or over to the sink, and I clean it, you know, all that stuff. Please be good. Please be good. Yeah. There you go. Yep, it's fine. Holding the throttle wide open doesn't change. Yeah, I've never found that it did. I used to do it, but it never really made a difference for me. Husky 268, what's going on? Good. So that's essentially that. So here's, Jonathan, this is for you. It's about as fresh as these come. Make a nice saw for you for a long time. The parts by themselves are worth the money. Whoop. Oh dear. The parts by themselves are worth the money. So I don't keep dropping things. All right. a second here, guys. Does the HE filter boat have a gasket? No. Nope. No gasket. I suppose you could put one if you really felt like it, but as long as it wouldn't interfere with the choke. Take care, Marshall. All right. What else do we got tonight? That was pretty much it. I just wanted to show these. These are fine. Nothing else I can do really to make this a more solid saw. So. The 61 bottom end, but preferably the single coil rather than the double coil. 61 is a good start. 268. I don't know about the 266, but I know that the cases would be compatible. Pretty sure the cases would be compatible. I tell you what, that feels more than 150 pounds of compression. But whatever. May need one more turn there on the line. As a reminder, these are not captured bolts. No, that was good. So these bolts definitely. Somebody sent me money? Who sent me money? Somebody sent me money. Okay, great. No idea who you are or what you want. Great. Goes back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I can make that a more solid saw. Just don't know. Okay, I guess I'm doing a 660 kit for John or Andy. I don't know which one it is. Let's do a 660 kit. Bring it back up. I haven't been watching comments. Sorry, guys. Hey, Barnard. So yes, this is a 61 case. So Larry, I have the 394 back from Mason. There wasn't much comment on it except probably that it's amazing. Just it's supported 394. You know, they're good. You have to ask Mason himself. And I sent him with another one. So he went out today. He came with these two, and he left with another 372 that I have. He left with the 660 that we worked on this morning, and another 394 that I have. Yep, definitely my favorite too. 394 is my favorite, if I have to pick. So let's do a 660 standalone kit for Andy. Hey Ralph, found a Johnson 620 for sale. Considering getting it already. Have OEM high top cover screws would line up with the Johnson case. Ralph, I don't know. I don't see why not, but I'm not an expert on that. Is it a double coil or a single coil? Because that was the main issue that was illustrated to me. That is a bad battery. All right, run that. Bad battery pile. Have a great night, James. Black tag, single coil. Yeah, you should be good to go. Take care, Patrick. So I'm just going to put a set of tools together. Well, just a 660 kit, nothing crazy here. Hang on, let me get another piece from the other side. Just a 660 rod here. Sometimes there's a little chip inside there or whatever. Thanks, Ralph. Yeah. I think it came out nice too. These have to slide, like just glide through with no resistance. There's a 660 kit for Andy, or John, or whoever that is. Throw that in here. And Ralph, it's not my 272 anymore. It's Jonathan's. He committed, so. Tell you what, that 660 today has great pop, and already, I think Mason was really liking that 372 also. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. All right, gotta get these in the mail. Questions, comments, anything else, guys? I think we'll call it a night. 268 Ready Taddy 268 for sale. $250 plus shipping, or $300 shipped to lower 48. So if you want to pick it up local, it's $250. Ken's just itching to get it, isn't he? He is, I can tell. Ken can't help himself. Have a good night, Larry. So that's basically that. And I guess we'll call it, unless anybody has any other questions or comments. Right now, until I get these things sold, the shop is basically frozen. There's nothing else for me to do. Next project to work on will be the 288 when I get a head for that, and then beyond that, the 394 that I'm going to get for my father-in-law. But I don't know when those are coming, so we may have some downtime for a bit. So if anybody has any questions, obviously they can email me. Please click that link to HL Supply, and if you're going to buy stuff, it'd be great because it tracks you for like a month, and if you click on it and you buy something, then I get credit, and I appreciate that. So best way to support the channel is either that or buy tools from me. So that's it. Have a great night. Oh, Robert, the 372. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to sell it. The way it's running right now, the number would have to be pretty high. But here's the problem. It's an aftermarket head. At the end of the day, it's not worth tons of money. But it runs really well. So I don't really know what to do. And if I charge what I think it's worth, it's going to be way too much. And if I get $400 or $500 for it, it's going to be too little for me to sell it. So that's the problem there. Because if I'm only going to get $400 or $500 for it, I'd rather keep it and use it for playtime, you know? Pat, all you got to do is get a 372 head, measure the squish. Will I build more? Actually, I have 372 parts on the way. I forgot about that. I just committed to a parts pile, so who knows? Is there something specific you'd like? So yeah, Pat, just measure the squish. Get a head, measure the squish. And then we can kind of take it from there. Lucky 7. Okay. So yeah, if there's nothing you have in particular in mind, then it's kind of whatever comes out of the shop here, you know. I I'm having a hard time committing to work right now because life is a little on the crazy side. Um, yeah, you have two OEM cylinders. Okay, whatever works for you. But yeah, so I might make more 372s because I've got 372 stuff probably on the way here. Uh, I don't know what it's going to look like when it shows up, but if you guys follow along, then we'll see. If something works out, it works out. If not, not. That's the thing is, like, if you do an OEM setup, it's going to be worth considerably more than the aftermarket setup. With an aftermarket head, you know, you might only get $400 for a 372. The problem is that it really runs like an $800 or $900 saw. Will it run indefinitely like that? Probably not. But for right now, it runs like an $800 or $900 saw. Is it worth that? Probably not. See the problem? So I'm having an internal issue in my brain, getting my brain around selling it at this point. We'll see what Mason says. Let's see what Mason says after, you know, fiddling around with it for a bit. If he blows it up, then clearly it wasn't worth $800 or $900. But port work is usually about the going rate for a lot of guys is at least $300 for a pretty much straightforward port and polish job. I am not a pro porter. I do not consider my work to be worth that much. But at the end of the day, if the saw runs really well, then the value has to go up. You know what I mean? If I'm talking crazy, I'm open to suggestions. I guess a better way to phrase it is if it runs really well, it's probably worth more to me than it is to somebody else. So if that's the case, then I end up keeping stuff. If if not, then I end up with a sale. You know, that's pretty much the long and the short of pretty much any sale is how much is it worth to you versus how much is it worth to somebody else. You work on other saws other than just your own. Yes, I do. For the most part, I work on saws for guys that are in my area here. I try not to take on like specific jobs for people across the country because I have a hard time shipping stuff back and forth. You know, the shipping chainsaws things gets nuts. I do it, but it's getting more rare. And the other thing is, there's lots. There's lots of guys that do really nice work. So for instance, like Rattler in North Carolina, I'm sending heads out to him to be machined, and yeah, I help out local guys too, like Ken. But I send the heads out to Rattler to be machined. Why? Because he's a better machinist than I am. He probably has better machines than I do too, so that helps too. Not that I can't do a nice job. It's just it's sometimes easier to send him stuff. And there's plenty of other guys that are really quite good, that are more professional than me, as far as pro porters or any builders. Yes, I like to build stuff that's like trashed. I my thing is to build saws that are in a box, clean them up and give them some new life. That's kind of my thing, or at least it's been my thing. Of late, I've gotten more busy. Who's the Rattler guy in North Carolina? I'm here too. Got info, please. Ken, yeah, you can go to either Arborist site, or I think even Rattler's on OPE forum, but go to Arborist site and look up Rattler, and that's his handle on Arborist site. I've had him do machine work for me, and he's been posting some really nice stuff. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Ken. Robert, I apologize for being a little bit on the cryptic side, but I'm not super interested in taking on lots of outside work and then shipping stuff across the country. If you're local, you need a favor, I get it. Or if I have something for sale, okay. But taking on work from across the country, Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that. Not local, Wisconsin. Yeah. I have to think of guys out in Wisconsin that are solid builders. I don't often know. OPE Forum actually has a section under chainsaws that I think is it under chainsaws, or is it's just under the forum section, and it is builder slash porter wanted. So you can actually go over there and say, okay, I'm looking for somebody local, and see what happens, and make sure that you got plenty of other people that vouch for that person too. Yeah, any tractor man is local, sort of, and Ken is local, sort of. So most of the other guys here aren't local. Most of the other guys in chat aren't. Plenty of guys from New Zealand and Australia. Will do. Still might buy a saw from you too. Sounds good. I have a 394 for sale. 700 bucks plus shipping. I have a 288 for sale that I have $1,000 into. I'll sell it for 800 bucks plus shipping. That's also one of those pieces that's like, I'm that much money into it. Should I just keep it? Because the actual value of that is probably 600 or 700 bucks. 800 bucks is asking a bit much, but I've got so much into it. Hey, Craig. Yeah, Robert. It just depends on what you need. Just depends on what you need. And if I got something, fine. If not, that's okay too. I'm okay with that. All right, I better run. thanks guys for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Anybody's, you know, certainly allowed to email me. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on going on tonight, but I did have the two saws to show off to you. So, anyway, have a great night, everybody. Be safe out there, and we'll catch you again as soon as I find something else to do. Later, guys. Bye. Bye, Stanley.